Hi everyone, I just want to give a quick update on my Rad bike situation and my injuries. So what is going on is when I got my new Rad bike, I did a thorough amount of research on this bike because I'm very short. I'm only 5'3", so I really was looking for a bike that would meet, obviously my height and be able to touch the ground in case of emergency situation. Another thing that sold me on this bike was I watched the electric bike review that was done earlier in the year and many other video channels, and I wrote them all down, and I saw that they had changed their tire. They went to this kind of medium semi knobby, kind of looks like a checkerboard pattern to them, but not like a really deep knobby, which I thought was perfect for this type of terrain that I am in majority of the time. I'm never going to be riding my e-bike in the city. So I was sold on this bike. Well, when I opened up the box, the first thing I saw was not those, tread tires that I was looking for. They had more of that kind of slick, I would call more city. Even though they call it a boat tire, it's just really reinforced, and it's supposed to be really good for punctures and things like that. But to me, I don't feel it's good for this terrain, even though it is reinforced. It's the tread that's making that tire a little concerning to me. So I go out on my first ride, and not very far, like 5 miles in one way, 5 miles back. And on my way back, I go to stop, and the bike just slid out from underneath me, and down I went on my left side. So what happened is I scraped up the side of my arm, my knees, the side of my leg. This leg is hurt. And then of course my hand, because you work a throttle. And so when I went down, my hand must have slipped off the throttle part and got wedged into where the shifter is. There's a little lever thing, and I'm pretty sure that that's what happened, and it just jammed itself right into my thumb part and scraped it up, and then it's been all swollen. So I'm one-handed right now, so I figured this was the best way to give everybody an update. So I called Rad Company today, and honestly, they were extremely nice and compassionate, and they are going to send me the right tires, or the tires that I thought I was getting. And they're going to send them out tomorrow, and I should be getting them soon. I don't know when I'll get them switched over, but that is coming. In the meantime, I have protective gear coming. I should have never rode that bike to begin with without any kind of protection. I know better, but I've been riding dirt bikes my whole life when I was younger, and I had horses, and I just know to be protective, of certain areas of your body when you're riding things or doing sports. And I didn't have my any protective gear on, or maybe things would have been different. So I'm one-handed for a while. I can't use this thumb. I mean, I'm just now being able to move it a tiny bit, but I don't feel anything's broken. I just think it's just badly mangled and hurt. And of course, I've got all the swelling, so I'm icing it and waiting for this to get better before I can ride baby again, my Rad Mini. I love her. Otherwise, the tire was that main concern. That the first thing when I opened up that box, I was like, oh no, she doesn't have the right tires. Go inside.
Do you have an e-bike in there?
Yeah, we got an e-bike.
Oh, it's got a brown.
I was supposed to get the knobby tire. I'm not sending it back just because of a tire problem. We'll just see how it does. So anyways, it's gonna get fixed with time. So in the meantime, I'm healing. And just taking all of this one day at a time. But I just wanted to update everybody on what had happened, what's going on, and yeah, so I'm okay though. It could have been far worse, you know, it really could have been far worse. So I'm really, really thankful, yeah, and for Rad Company doing what they're doing and making this right for me. And I really am thankful for that because they're confusing. They've changed this bike so many times with their tires. And I told the guy, when you see this, the version 2, I was expecting that upgrade. That upgrade was that tire, but who knew that they switched it back? And if you change something else to it now, well, give it a different name, you know, maybe. I don't know. That was just my suggestion. We'll see how they fix it later. But I said on my end, as a person buying the bike, it's very, very confusing on our end. So that is what happened. Okay, so here is baby after my fall. So what I've been doing while I'm recovering is fixing her up with all the accessories. Now I'll have another video in the future over this bike, in detail, the specs and things like that about it. This is just a quick introduction of my bike and also my injury, what happened, and just getting you familiar with what I've been up to. So some of the accessories that I have put on the bike while I have been mending is I put a GoPro mount right here on my handlebars. I also have one on my helmet. And then I have a bottle rack so I can take water with me. And I got a new bottle. I'll show you that in a second. I'll put it on. And then I put a new seat on, so I took the other seat off and I put a Cloud 9 seat on, so it has a little wider base and a little bit more padding to it. So I'm sure that's going to work really well, but I don't know yet. And then I got on the back a trunk, and it also has pannier bags on the side that can open up when I need that. So those are the main accessories that I got for my bike. So let me open up the bag and I'll show you that next. Okay, so this is what it looks like with the pannier bag down. It does have an extra strap right down here that you can secure it to the rack itself. And it has nice deep pockets. I mean, for just what I'm going to use, I didn't need anything really heavy, just to put like a extra sweater or jacket or something like that. Tools, the air pump, first aid kit, things like that. So that'll work, and it has one on each side and a nice size, as I mentioned, water holder, extra water pouch there. I mainly was looking for something to carry my camera in. It does have an expandable part here that you can unzip and add a little bit of extra height if you need that. Yeah, and it has a rain cover as well. And I put my water bottle up there. That's what I ended up getting. And it's got a handle, so easy to pull out. And it has a zipper, or also the twist thing that opens up and you can actually you know, drink out of it instead of a sipper, more like a guzzler. I'll go over more details about her later, but that is baby, and she's okay after the fall. Just a couple scrapes on the left side on the handlebar, or not the handlebar, but the actual brake lever. You can't even notice it, but there's a tiny little scrape there, and then there's a tiny little scrape, if you can see, right down there at the bottom of the fork. Other than that, I'm very, very pleased. I think I took the impact more than her. And then also this was pulled up, but it's designed to pull up and fold, so that was able to go back into place. So I'm very, very lucky of the outcome for both of us, actually, and I will be more careful. And I got new tires coming. So this is a couple of weeks later. I just want to give a quick update. I know it's not broken. I did not go to the hospital or doctors because I'm pretty sure it's sprained, not broken. I personally have my own personal reasons that I do not want to be anywhere near a doctor's office or a clinic or any type of situation like that because of the COVID. I'm trying to stay away from those kind of places, gatherings, large gatherings. That's just me, my comfort zone right now, because I feel personally I'm a high risk person, and I'm just trying to keep as much safety measures unless I absolutely had to go to an emergency, which I've got. Actually, all my other gear comes today. I picked that up. I've got elbow protectors, I've got knee protectors, and I know better that I should have done that. That's all coming in today. My tires are coming in today. But we're also trying to pack up and get out of here because a cold front is coming, so we're going to try to go more south. So I'll go over a couple things that I've done to get baby ready for the trip, okay? But in the meantime, my hand is doing way better. I wear this brace. I have a couple more weeks to wear the brace. With sprains, you want to go at least up to 4 to 6 weeks, depending on how I'm doing. I actually feel like I'm healing very, very quickly. I am really impressed. I've got some pain in the joint, some swelling in the joint still, but nothing on the back of the hand anymore. I can move my thumb around. And the only thing is I just can't bend it up at the top. I'm limited in how much I can bend. There's exercises I can do. I've done a lot of physical therapy exercises because of different things. So one of them is I'm going to be doing this and then bending it up here. And there's just some exercises and trying to get this to go here. So I'll be working on that, but not for a couple more weeks. But I'm really happy so far with how much I have, you know, healed, the progress of my healing. Everything's going to be okay. So what I'm going to go over next is showing you Milo, because people were like, where's Milo? You know, so I'll be showing you Milo, and then also some pictures that I have of the setup that I have for the back of the van of traveling and how I'm going to do that, okay? But I'm going to do another video later because we're just crunched for time. We're really racing against time to pick up this last order and get out of here by tomorrow morning. So I'll do another video later of the actual tilting motorcycle rack that I chose to carry baby, you know, my e-bike. I felt that this was a better setup for me. I still have to fine-tune a couple of things, but in the meantime it works. I'll go over things more later. I don't want this video to get too long. Let me go get Milo. Okay, there's our boy. He's still doing great. He's a little more wobbly. I have to really be careful when there's any kind of wind, and I take him out for potty. There was a windstorm that came through, and I was like, oh no, and he's a little wobbly, and he stops and he freezes and he waits for me to come pick him up, you know. But he's doing okay. And as far as him being on that bike, I might just barely, I put him in a bag that I have for the front of me. If I'm going back and forth between camps, if I feel that, you know, it's level enough and okay, but I'm going to be extra careful with this little guy because I don't want to have an accident with him on there at his age and with all of his physical problems, you know. So he's 12. He hit 12 in July. So, but there he is. He says, hi YouTube. Hi everybody. Sorry I wasn't in the last video. Yeah. So anyway, so I'm going to wrap this up with showing you my setup. I put it together, but then Kent came over and tightened everything up for me. And then he helped me to get it up onto the van and secure it and everything, and teaching me how to, you know, strap it all down. We're going to get a ratchet type strap, so that's coming to really help secure that bike, but it's not going anywhere. It's so secure right now. All right, and I also have a hip lock that I'm locking it down with that, and I have a bunch of other locks. I have alarms. I have that bike is going to be well protected when I'm traveling. All right, so we love you all, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm going to end with a couple of those pictures of my setup in the back, and then I'll see you in that next video.